Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you landed here. If you did, it's probably because you read the headline and you were like, yeah, I need to simplify my life as well. And I'm glad you found this video, and I'm so excited to share with you the tips that I have found have really helped me to simplify my life, especially in my 30s. I feel like my 30s have been such like a transformational time in my life, and I have really found so many little hacks to simplifying my life, and I want to share them with you. I have my iPad with me because I wrote them all down and I want to make sure I don't forget, but I might actually have to split this video into two parts because there's just like a lot to cover. But I do want to get started with like the most foundational tip for simplifying your life, and that is having some minimalist habits. Now, you don't have to be a complete minimalist, because I do think there's a place for minimalists and there's a place for maximalists, absolutely. But I will say that having some minimalist habits will help you to really like simplify life. So there are like 3 ways that I kind of keep minimalist habits. Now, I will say this. I'm a minimalist like all around. I don't keep like a lot of tchotchkes or anything. Like, I like very minimal stuff around me. I feel like it just helps me focus better, and I like just feeling like I have a very clean, spacious environment. I feel like for me personally, when I have a lot of things, like it feels like clutter to me. But I have a lot of family that are maximalists, and I love that for them. And I think their spaces really reflect them. So I think it's beautiful. But I will give the forewarning that I am a minimalist all around. But there are 3 minimalist habits that have really helped me to keep my life very simple. The first one is minimalism with my meals. So often, I mean, I work from home, so I am cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for myself almost every single day. And that can get very tiresome. You can start to, like lose your spark for cooking and all of that. But I usually love cooking, and it's like a very meditative experience for me. And I love trying new recipes, but I know it's not realistic to do that every day. So instead, I have like a few core recipes that I lean on for most days. Like, I have like a go-to breakfast recipe. It's like a tofu scramble with either a hash brown or some shredded potatoes in there and spinach. And like, that's my go-to most days. It makes it easier to have a simple, slow morning because I'm not having to think outside the box every day. Like, what am I going to eat for breakfast? It also makes grocery shopping more simple because I have like staples that I'm buying every single week, and I just know what I need because those are my go-to recipes. So I recommend finding like 2 or 3 go-to recipes that you can lean on, that even if you get sick of it after 2 months, you can change it, or after a month you can change it, but at least have a core 2 or 3 recipes that you can lean on for a few weeks, and you can kind of just rinse and repeat those recipes. This is actually also a really good habit for your gut, because if you're eating a lot of the same, it's easier for your stomach to digest, versus if you're introducing your stomach to like 20 million different ingredients in a day, or every day, it makes it a lot harder for your stomach to digest. Okay, the other minimalist habit I have that has really simplified my life is having sort of like a uniform. And I know like a lot of people have a capsule wardrobe, which I think is also great. But for me, a uniform is really, you'll see me mostly in like a black or white t-shirt and like jeans or leggings. That's kind of my vibe, and I feel like it's just easy for me. It's easy for me to get dressed for the day if I have like my go-to basics, and it has really simplified me getting ready because everything matches with everything. I mostly have black, white, a little bit of beige. Sometimes I throw brown in there as well. And it's not because I don't like color and I'm just like a nooch girly. I do love color and I love when people wear color. But for me, like getting dressed like feels overwhelming if I have too many options to go through. So I like having my, laundry's done, timer went off. So I like having my go-to basics that are so interchangeable with each other, and that's how I have made it so simple for myself to get ready every day and feel like I'm, you know, put together. And the last minimalist habit that I'll share with you in this video that has really helped simplify my life has been keeping my makeup and skincare routines like very streamlined. I really do feel like less is more applies to everything in life, and I just have found that sometimes when I use too many products, like that's when I start like breaking out and having all of these like skin issues. Really, when I do the least is when my skin looks the best. And so I try to make sure that my skincare routine is super streamlined. Also, I make sure that my makeup is super streamlined because there was a point in time in my 20s when I would rock a wing liner like every single day. I loved makeup. I wouldn't leave the house without makeup, actually. My sister would always make fun of me like because I wouldn't be seen in public without makeup. And in my 30s, like I completely did away with that. Like I just do not have the same relationship with makeup anymore. I do still enjoy it. I love watching like makeup tutorial videos and all of that. But for myself, I like a really simple, like barely there makeup look. And I feel like my skin looks better than it did when I used to wear a ton of makeup. So those are three like minimalist habits with the meals, the clothing, and the makeup and skincare that really help keep my life super simple. And I love that for me because that just adds more time for other things that I am super passionate about. So like if any of these things are something that you're super passionate about, like by all means, you don't have to take this advice, but apply that minimalist habit trick to something that you don't value super high, and maybe see if that can help you to simplify in areas that you're not super, you know, passionate about. Another tip that has really helped me simplify my life is making a plan. I know it sounds so like simple, like make a plan, but honestly, on Fridays, I like to plan for the following week, and I find that it's really helpful to have a very clear idea of what the following week is gonna look like. I feel like I go into the weekend more relaxed because my plan for the following week is already made, and I feel like it allows me to really think through my schedule and like what can I fit in where, and it's better to do it ahead of time rather than in the moment, because I find that if I leave too much open in my calendar, too much to plan in the moment, then I'll come up with like a million distractions of other things to do on the day of, versus if I have everything really outlined on my calendar, I will follow my calendar's routine. And so I just feel like making a plan is one of the easiest ways to simplify your life and just make it easier for you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, because you have a plan in place and you've thought about it beforehand and you've made a plan that is realistic for you to follow through on. And that'll help you feel good about what you've accomplished in a day and about moving forward and moving the needle forward on some of the goals you have. And the last thing I'll cover in this video, I'll definitely make a part 2 because I still have some stuff here that we didn't cover in this video, but the last thing I want to cover in today's video on how you can simplify your life is to make sure that you get super clear on your priorities. I think sometimes life feels more complicated and more hectic and like just like we're on like a hamster wheel when we are not super clear on our priorities, and so our time kind of just gets away from us. And so it's really important to identify your priorities, identify your values, like what do you truly value, so that you can make sure that all like the actions and the time that you dedicate to things and the plans that you make are all through the lens of things that you prioritize, things that are in line with your values. That way you can feel good about how you're spending your time, about making sure that you are feeding and nourishing your soul, your spirit first, and taking care of yourself before you try to say yes and do for others. I think that's a big reason why we tend to feel depleted and like, you know, we don't have any time for ourselves, is because we get caught up in saying yes to everyone else's needs more than our own, and we tend to say no to our own needs more. And so it's really, really important that you have like a clear vision for your priorities and your values, so that as you are getting asked like for favors, getting invited to events and asked to do things, you know what is in line with you to say yes to and what you want to say no to, and you can make sure that you check in with you first, that this is something that you can do, that you have the time for it, the bandwidth for it. But that takes you being super clear on your priorities and making sure that you prioritize yourself and your needs first. Really simplify what your calendar looks like, what your schedule looks like, so that you can nourish yourself and take care of yourself and be the best you before you go out and take care of others. So I want to encourage you to really sit and think about all the things you prioritize. What values do you have? What do you value most? And how does that align with how you're spending your time? And how can you make sure that you are dedicating more time to yourself, your self-care, so that you can then be the best you in other spaces. If you're in any kind of transitionary period, it can feel so overwhelming, all the things that they tell you to do, like do this, you know, to become her, or be like have a that girl moment, and like there's like a laundry list of things that you need to do, and all of that can seem super overwhelming. And I promise you that simplifying your life is literally the key to having a healthier, more fulfilling life, especially in your 30s, especially if you are going through some kind of pivot or transition. So I really hope that that helps you. It helped me a lot. It continues to help me every day, and I look forward to sharing more of those tips with you in the next video. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of my new uploads. This channel is really me exploring all the things I care about. I have worked in self-care and personal development and mental health for a really long time, and so I am really passionate about this work, but I'm also super passionate about DIYs and hosting and just so many other things. And in my 30s, I've really gotten in tune with like exploring these different passions, and I'm excited to explore them on here with all of you guys. But I'm also really excited to get to share a lot of like the mindset and personal growth stuff that I have also learned along the way. So I hope you appreciate all of that. I feel like this channel is like a mixture of a little bit of everything, but I hope you ride with me through it, because I feel like there's a lot of us that are like in this mode where, you know, we're in our 30s and we're rediscovering our joy, we're reconnecting with our inner child, we're exploring passions and hobbies from the past and new ones, and just trying to live our best lives now that we're more mature, that we have some lived experience. And so I hope you'll join me on this journey, and make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss any new uploads. And I look forward to chatting with you in the next video. Don't forget to also follow me on TikTok or Instagram at It's Kat Torres, and make sure you send me a DM. Let me know you're a subscriber. I just want to connect with you guys however way that I can. I'm going to try to utilize the YouTube community feature as well to connect with you. But yeah, make sure you drop me a DM. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you're also in like this pivotal transitional phase in life. Let me know if your 30s have been like this like growth moment for you like it's been for me. I want to hear your stories. So all right, well, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.